Most people think wealth is flashy cars, designer clothes, or viral fame, but the truth is far quieter. The richest people often live next door, unnoticed, quietly building fortunes that last a lifetime. What if I told you that anyone, even with an average income, can adopt the mindset that creates real financial freedom? In the next few minutes, you'll discover the hidden habits, the small daily decisions, and the mindset that turns ordinary lives into extraordinary wealth. Book, A Hidden Millionaire Mindset, written by Maya Renford. Audiobook by ReadRealm. Introduction. The wealth you never notice. If you walked past a millionaire today, you probably wouldn't recognize them. They wouldn't be stepping out of a luxury car or wearing a watch, worth more than your monthly rent. More often than not, they'd look like anyone else, someone buying discounted groceries, repairing their own fence on a Saturday morning, or quietly sipping coffee at a small cafe. Their wealth isn't broadcast, it's built. And because it was built with intention rather than impulse, it rarely demands attention. We live in a world where the loudest version of success is assumed to be the truest. Scroll through social media, and you'll see curated lifestyles crafted to look wealthy. The staged vacations, the designer shoes, the late-night grind footage, all packaged to convince you that wealth is something you display, not something you grow. But the reality is far less glamorous and far more empowering. Genuine financial independence has very little to do with what the world sees and everything to do with what you quietly practice when no one is watching. The truth is simple. Real wealth prefers silence. It thrives in everyday routines, measured choices, and steady habits. It grows not from chasing status, but from resisting it. Most of the truly wealthy aren't chasing applause. They're pursuing freedom, the ability to live on their terms without fear, debt, or dependence. And that kind of freedom is built quietly, consistently, and almost invisibly. This book is about those people, the hidden millionaires who blend into ordinary neighborhoods, hold unglamorous jobs, and live lives that rarely make it onto anyone's highlight reel. Yet behind their modest exteriors lies something extraordinary, a mindset that allows them to create levels of financial security and independence most people only dream about. Inspired by the timeless insights of the millionaire next door, this book carries the same foundational truth forward into a very different world, one shaped by digital consumerism, subscription living, social pressure, side hustles, and constant comparison. Today, the temptation to look wealthy has never been stronger, and the discipline to build wealth has never been more essential. My purpose in writing The Hidden Millionaire Mindset is simple: to reveal how ordinary individuals quietly accumulate extraordinary wealth, and how you can adopt the same principles, no matter your income, background, or starting point. These ideas are not theoretical. They are habits, systems, and decisions proven to work across generations. By the time you turn the final page, my hope is that you will understand exactly why real millionaires walk beside you unnoticed, and more importantly, how you can become one of them. Your financial story doesn't need applause. It needs a plan. Let's begin writing it. Chapter 1. The Quiet Reality of Real Wealth. If you truly want to understand wealth, forget everything you've been taught to picture. Don't imagine a mansion on a hill or a sports car roaring down a coastal road. Instead, picture something far quieter: an older sedan in a driveway, a modest home with a well-kept lawn, a person who looks like they shop sales, not because they have to, but because it's who they've always been. This quiet picture is far closer to the truth of real wealth than anything you've seen on a screen. For decades, society has confused spending with success. We've been conditioned to believe that the people who look rich must be rich, but the people showcasing vacations, luxury shopping bags, or extravagant lifestyles often share one uncomfortable trait. Much of it is borrowed, financed, or performed. Their lives are curated, not accumulated. And the more you study real financial behavior, the clearer this becomes. Wealth rarely announces itself. It simply exists. Walk through any ordinary neighborhood, and you'll pass people who have quietly built 6- or 7-figure net worths. They aren't hiding their money out of fear. They're simply uninterested in performing wealth. Their values, not their image, guide their decisions. Consider Daniel, a fictional yet realistic example. He's a 55-year-old mechanic who never earned an extraordinary paycheck, but he started investing modest amounts in his early 20s. Stuck to it consistently, avoided unnecessary lifestyle upgrades, and stayed out of debt. Over 3 decades, his quiet discipline grew into a substantial investment portfolio. No lottery, no inheritance, no viral business success, just consistency. Or think of Elaine, a middle school teacher who never cared about keeping up with peers, buying bigger homes or newer cars. She packed lunches instead of ordering out, kept her expenses stable even when her salary increased, and contributed steadily to her retirement accounts. By the time she retired, her portfolio was large enough to shock even her closest friends. She never looked wealthy. She simply became wealthy. This pattern shows up everywhere. People who look rich often prioritize signaling wealth over growing it. People who are rich have no interest in signaling at all. This phenomenon, quiet financial strength hiding behind ordinary appearances, is what I call the unseen millionaire phenomenon. It surprises many people, but it shouldn't. True wealth requires habits that naturally lead to modest living, budgeting, intentional choices, and resistance to unnecessary spending. Those habits began long before the wealth arrived. Wealth didn't shape these people's behavior. Their behavior shaped their wealth. And the most important insight of all? Income and wealth are not the same thing. High earners often spend in proportion to, or beyond, what they make. Their lifestyle expands with every raise. Their money flows outward faster than it can grow. Meanwhile, modest earners who practice financial discipline accumulate more over time than many people earning triple their salary. Real wealth is the outcome of a simple equation. Wealth equals discipline plus time plus consistency, not talent. Not luck, not a windfall, not a miracle, just small, steady, powerful choices repeated over years. This chapter exists to break the illusion before we move forward, because unless you understand the quiet nature of real wealth, the rest of the book won't land with the clarity it deserves. You must first accept that real millionaires walk beside you every day, shopping in the same stores, driving the same roads, living in the same neighborhoods. They aren't rare, they aren't gifted, they aren't superhuman. They're simply people who made different decisions over long periods of time. The chapters ahead will peel back the behaviors, habits, and mental frameworks that allow ordinary individuals to create extraordinary financial outcomes. You'll learn why frugality isn't deprivation, why time is the greatest multiplier of wealth, why avoiding lifestyle inflation matters more than chasing higher paychecks, and how hidden millionaires build their financial lives with purpose, clarity, and quiet confidence. This journey begins with truth, and the truth is simple. Those who seem ordinary often live extraordinary financial lives. Now, let's understand how they do it. Chapter 2. The Freedom of Financial Lightness. If you want to feel what wealth truly feels like, don't imagine a yacht or a designer wardrobe. Imagine waking up on a Monday morning knowing you don't have to say yes to a job you dislike. Imagine paying every bill without flinching. Imagine breathing without the weight of debt pressing on your chest. Imagine choosing, not reacting. That is the real sensation of wealth. And it begins with something remarkably simple: Living financially light. Most people think frugality is about saying no to everything that makes life enjoyable. But hidden millionaires know the truth. Frugality is not deprivation. It's liberation. It is the intentional decision to keep your life simple enough that your money serves you instead of controlling you. It's choosing what matters and releasing what doesn't. Living financially light doesn't mean you never spend. It means you spend with awareness and intention. You avoid the unnecessary weight of bills, subscriptions, and debt that slowly steals your future. You create space to save, space to invest, space to grow, because every dollar you don't waste becomes an employee working for you, earning compound interest, generating passive income, and building the financial stability most people will never experience. Wealth doesn't come from how much you make. It comes from how much you keep. Why does frugality work so powerfully? Because it gives you 4 priceless advantages. 1. You keep more of what you earn. The biggest leak in most people's financial lives isn't low income. It's unnecessary spending. Hidden millionaires plug the leaks before chasing. Higher wages. 2. You reduce stress. When your expenses are low, life becomes lighter. You sleep better. You argue less. You stop living in fear of the next bill, the next emergency, the next month. 3. You gain control over your time. A lighter cost of living gives you options. Whether that's switching careers, starting a business, saving faster, or retiring earlier. 4. You avoid lifestyle inflation. Most people upgrade their lifestyle the moment they earn a little more. Hidden millionaires don't. They upgrade their investments, not their image. Let's look at a fictional but realistic example. Jared and Mia, a young couple in their early 30s. They earn average incomes, but they live intentionally. Driving paid-off cars, cooking meals at home, keeping their entertainment simple, investing every month no matter what. They chose a modest home, not the maximum one the bank approved. They buy quality items that last, not trendy ones that fade, while their peers upgraded to luxury apartments and expensive cars. Jared and Mia upgraded one thing only, their net worth. By their mid-40s, they had enough invested to step away from full-time work. Their freedom came not from extraordinary income, but from extraordinary discipline. This is what financial lightness does. It doesn't just save money. It accelerates everything. But if frugality is so powerful, why do so few people practice it? Because overspending is rarely logical. It's emotional. People buy things to fill voids, to feel significant, to avoid judgment, to gain approval, to match the identity they want others to see. Overspending isn't about possessions. It's about perception. Hidden millionaires break that cycle. They aren't interested in status symbols. They aren't seduced by trends. Their self-worth isn't tied to what they own. Their stability comes from who they are, not what they display. To help you embrace financial lightness, here's a simple checklist inspired by the habits of real hidden millionaires. The Financial Lightness Checklist. Choose durable purchases over fashionable ones. Avoid trendy, fast-fading products. Buy once. Buy good, quality over quantity. Keep recurring expenses low and review them often. Declutter your space and your spending. Live below your means without feeling restricted. Treat every saved dollar as a future. Work or separate wants from identity-driven impulses. Living financially light is not a sacrifice. It's a strategy, one that creates freedom far greater than anything you could buy. Once you understand how powerful this approach is, you begin to see wealth differently, not as something loud, complicated, or extravagant, but as something quiet, simple, and deeply freeing. And in the chapters to come, you'll discover how this lightness becomes the foundation of every other hidden millionaire habit. Because when your life costs less, your possibilities become limitless. Chapter 3. Managing your personal economy. Imagine treating your life the way a successful business treats its operations. Every dollar you earn, every hour you spend, every decision you make, viewed not as random events, but as pieces of a larger, interconnected system. This is how hidden millionaires think about money. They don't simply earn and spend. They manage their personal economy with precision, intention, and foresight. Your financial life is a mini economy. The rules are simple. Income flows in, expenses flow out, and the difference, the surplus, can either be wasted or invested to generate more wealth. Every action has consequences, and every decision compounds over time. Hidden millionaires understand that they are the CEOs of their own financial organization, and like any CEO, they know that without a system, even the best resources can be squandered. The power of tracking. The first rule of running any economy is knowing what's happening inside it. Millionaires track every important metric, spending habits. They know exactly where their money goes and whether each expense serves a long-term goal. Every unnecessary subscription, impulse purchase, or emotional buy is identified and eliminated. Investment performance. They review growth, assess risk, and make adjustments when needed. Whether it's stocks, bonds, or real estate, every asset has a purpose and is monitored for efficiency. Net worth. They track net worth monthly, not just income. Why? Because what you keep over time matters far more than what you earn in a single paycheck. Monthly goals. Hidden millionaires set small, measurable targets that compound into life-changing results. It might be saving a certain percentage of income, investing a fixed amount, or paying off debt. These targets create focus and accountability. Tracking isn't tedious for them. It's empowering. Awareness creates control, and control creates freedom. Every number tells a story. Every adjustment strengthens the system, and every review brings clarity. Time allocation. Time is the most overlooked resource in personal finance. Millionaires allocate their hours like they allocate their dollars. They focus on activities that maximize growth and minimize waste. Financial learning, reading, researching, and understanding markets multiplies over time. Knowledge compounds. Just like money, goal setting, weekly, monthly, and yearly targets keep them focused on what truly matters, preventing distractions from derailing progress. Skill growth. Whether it's professional skills, side hustles, or investing expertise, skill building translates into higher returns over time. High-value tasks. They prioritize work and activities that create the most significant financial impact, leaving low-value, time-consuming tasks for later or delegating them altogether. Time allocation ensures that their energy is directed at opportunities that create long-term results, not wasted on reactive, short-term pleasures. Systems over willpower. Discipline alone isn't enough. Willpower is finite and can fail under stress. Hidden millionaires know this. That's why they rely on systems that automate good behavior. Savings, automatically deducted before it can be spent. Turning saving from a choice into a default. Investing. Contributions occur on a schedule. Leveraging compound growth without relying on motivation. Bills. Timely. Automated payments prevent late fees and maintain financial integrity. Debt payments. Strategically structured to reduce interest and accelerate payoff. These systems remove the emotional component from decisions. When your money moves automatically toward growth, the mental load decreases, stress falls, and consistency becomes effortless. The personal CFO mindset. Ultimately, managing your personal economy means thinking like a chief financial officer of your own life. Every decision is a business decision. Where is my money working the hardest? Which expenses are draining resources without return? How can I restructure habits to produce better outcomes over time? Hidden millionaires approach finances with this lens daily. They anticipate challenges, plan contingencies, and continuously optimize. Decisions are deliberate, not reactive. They know that wealth isn't about luck. It's about predictable, repeatable choices executed consistently over time. When you adopt this mindset, life changes. Bills no longer feel like obligations. They become strategic choices. Your income isn't just a paycheck. It's capital to be allocated for long-term security and freedom. Every hour spent wisely accelerates your trajectory. Every dollar saved or invested becomes a silent employee, compounding quietly while you focus on growth. Managing your personal economy isn't about obsessing over numbers or restricting joy. It's about turning your life into a well-oiled financial machine where your money and time align with your deepest goals. By the end of this chapter, you should see your life differently, not as a series of random financial events, but as an interconnected economy you control. And once you take control, the path to hidden wealth becomes practical, predictable, and profoundly empowering. Chapter 4. Breaking Free from the Image Trap. Imagine standing in front of a shiny new car, a luxury watch, or the latest gadget. For a moment, it feels like success is within your grasp. The admiration of peers, the subtle nod of status, the social proof, it all whispers. You've arrived, but here's the truth hidden beneath that glow. Chasing appearances often keeps people from ever arriving. The desire to look successful can be financial quicksand, pulling ambition and money into a cycle of debt and distraction. Our world is built to seduce us into this trap. Marketing experts, influencers, and social media feeds constantly signal that status equals worth. A flashy car is applauded. Designer clothing is celebrated. The newest smartphone is a badge of modernity. But these symbols, cars, clothes, gadgets, and luxury items, are wealth killers. They promise admiration but deliver hidden costs. Depreciation, financing charges, and the endless loop of keeping up with trends. Take, for example, a common scenario. Leasing a luxury car might feel like a ticket to recognition, but consider the math. The monthly payment, insurance, maintenance, and inevitable depreciation far exceed the cost of a dependable used vehicle. The money spent here isn't just a transaction. It's money that could have been invested, growing quietly in the background, compounding toward real financial freedom. Every dollar spent on status is a dollar diverted from long-term wealth. Social pressure doesn't stop at tangible items. It manifests subtly. The phone everyone upgrades yearly, the trending clothes everyone posts online, the latest smartwatch everyone shows off. These purchases give the illusion of belonging. But hidden millionaires know better. They don't need validation through possessions, because their sense of achievement comes from independence, security, and control over their future. Hidden millionaires make a deliberate choice. They invest in assets, not appearances. They understand that a stock portfolio, a growing business, or a diversified investment account will silently increase their wealth far more reliably than any outward display of success. Their status is invisible, yet infinitely more powerful because it compounds, it lasts, and it frees them rather than burdening them. Modern culture makes this counterintuitive. Social media magnifies comparison. Everyone appears richer, smarter, or more accomplished online. It's easy to believe that wealth is defined by image rather than substance. But here's the critical insight. The loudest display of money rarely signals financial health. Often, it signals the opposite: overspending, debt, and the stress of maintaining appearances. To break free from the image trap, the shift begins in perception. Measure success not by possessions, but by freedom. Ask yourself, do my purchases bring long-term security, or temporary validation? Does this buy me independence or chain me to monthly payments and stress? Hidden millionaires constantly answer these questions before every financial decision. Consider a young professional who resists the pressure to buy a luxury apartment, choosing instead a modest rental while investing the difference. Or a college graduate who purchases a reliable used car rather than a flashy model, redirecting savings to an investment account. These choices feel small, even ordinary, but over time, they create extraordinary wealth. The message is simple. Possessions are temporary. Status is fleeting. Freedom, control, and financial independence are enduring. When you stop equating wealth with appearances, you reclaim money, energy, and focus for what truly matters. Breaking free from the image trap is about reclaiming your narrative. Hidden millionaires define success on their terms. The ability to make choices, to live intentionally, and to grow quietly without external applause. True wealth isn't loud. It's invisible, consistent, and deeply liberating. By understanding and avoiding the image trap, you start to invest in yourself, your future, and your financial freedom, not in the applause of strangers. And as you'll discover in the chapters ahead, this mindset is the foundation upon which every other hidden millionaire habit is built. Chapter 5. The Trap of Financial Dependence. Money can be both a tool and a trap. While it has the power to liberate, it can also enslave, not through debt or overspending, but through reliance on others. This is the subtle danger of financial dependence, a pattern so common that even well-intentioned help can undermine independence, weaken decision-making, and stall wealth building. Hidden millionaires understand this principle intuitively, both in their own lives and in how they interact with others. The dependency cycle. The cycle is deceptively simple. A gift is given. Perhaps a parent pays a child's rent, or a friend covers a missed bill. The recipient feels relief, even gratitude. But over time, repeated help fosters reliance. Reliance becomes expectation. Expectation breeds entitlement, and entitlement, quietly, almost invisibly, erodes the drive, discipline, and skills necessary for self-sufficiency. Consider Alex, a fictional young adult who repeatedly relies on a parent to bail him out of financial mistakes. At first, it feels harmless, a loan, a paid tuition bill, or a covered rent. But over the years, Alex's financial muscles atrophy. He avoids budgeting, delays learning how to invest, and stops building a savings cushion. Despite having opportunities, he remains stagnant, not due to lack of ability, but because the safety net removed the pressure to grow. Or imagine Linda, a parent who consistently funnels money to her adult children. She sacrifices her retirement contributions to support their lifestyle. Her generosity feels necessary, even loving, but the consequence is twofold. Her financial future becomes fragile, and her children fail to develop financial resilience. Helping in this context becomes harmful for both giver and receiver. Helpful money versus hurtful money. Hidden millionaires distinguish between helpful money and hurtful money. Helpful money strengthens. It teaches skills, reinforces discipline, or invests in opportunities that create long-term independence. Hurtful money enables avoidance, excuses mistakes, and fosters dependency. For example, funding a child's small business venture can be helpful if structured with guidance and expectations. Paying off a recurring debt without addressing spending habits, however, is hurtful. It postpones responsibility and keeps them tethered to financial insecurity. Avoiding the dependency trap. Hidden millionaires avoid this trap by treating financial support strategically. Whether they are the giver or the receiver, they understand that independence, not temporary comfort, is the ultimate gift. As givers, they teach skills instead of giving cash. Budgeting, investing, or entrepreneurship. They provide guidance, not rescue. Mentorship, advice, and accountability replace repeated bailouts. They set clear boundaries. Money given has conditions, and long-term reliance is avoided. As receivers, they evaluate offers critically. Is this help empowering or enabling? They accept support that builds independence, such as educational resources or matched investments. They resist emotional pressure to spend beyond their means or accept dependency. Emotional consequences of dependency. Financial dependence is not just an economic issue. It carries emotional weight. Adults reliant on others often experience shame, anxiety, and insecurity. Their self-worth becomes tied to external support, making them hesitant to take risks or pursue opportunities. Hidden millionaires recognize that financial independence is deeply liberating, not isolating. The confidence gained from standing on your own feet often outweighs the comfort of temporary aid. Becoming self-sustaining. True empowerment comes from learning to stand independently, even when support is available. Hidden millionaires embrace the discipline to earn, save, and invest on their own terms. They use challenges as training grounds, mistakes as lessons, and limited resources as motivation to grow. Consider a young professional, Maria, who starts her career with little financial cushion. She resists the temptation to rely on family or friends, budgets meticulously, invests steadily, and builds her wealth over a decade. By her early 30s, she has financial freedom and the ability to make choices others in similar situations cannot. The pride, security, and autonomy she experiences are far more valuable than any handout could provide. Hidden millionaires understand this principle across generations. They see their role not as rescuers, but as teachers of financial resilience. They recognize that empowering others, teaching them to fish rather than giving them fish, creates a legacy of independence, not dependency. Breaking free from the trap of financial dependence is not cruel. It is compassionate in the long term. It honors both parties, protects future wealth, and cultivates the mindset required for lasting financial success. Independence, after all, is not isolation. It is the freedom to make choices, take calculated risks, and live deliberately. Chapter 6. Builders and Burners. When it comes to wealth, people tend to fall into one of two categories: builders or burners. This isn't about luck, inheritance, or natural talent. It's about habits. Small decisions repeated over months and years determine whether someone quietly accumulates wealth or constantly chases fleeting appearances. Hidden millionaires understand this distinction and deliberately cultivate the mindset and behaviors of builders. Who you become is habit-based. No one wakes up wealthy by accident. Wealth is rarely inherited or discovered overnight. It is habitually built through intentional choices. Every action you take, how you spend, save, invest, or learn, creates either momentum toward financial independence or a cycle of depletion. Builders form the habits that compound into freedom. Burners form the habits that compound into stress and dependency, characteristics of builders. Builders live below their means, invest consistently, and make deliberate financial decisions every day. Their habits often appear ordinary, even boring, but the results are extraordinary over time. Common characteristics include deliberate spending. Every dollar has purpose. Nothing is wasted on impulse. Investing early and often. They leverage compound growth through disciplined contributions. Continuous learning. Books, podcasts, courses. Builders constantly sharpen their financial literacy and professional skills. Delayed gratification. They understand that short-term discomfort leads to long-term freedom. Internal definition of success. Builders don't chase validation or admiration. They define achievement by security, control, and independence. Consistency over excitement. Small, repeated actions outweigh sporadic bursts of effort or big wins. Consider a young couple, Emma and Jason. They earn average incomes, but consistently save a percentage of their earnings, invest monthly, and avoid lifestyle inflation. They prioritize education, skill growth, and long-term goals over social pressure or flashy purchases. Over a decade, they quietly accumulate wealth that astonishes their peers who appear far richer in lifestyle, but far poorer in net worth. Characteristics of burners. Burners, by contrast, live for the moment. Their choices are emotional rather than strategic, and they often chase status instead of security. Their habits quietly erode wealth potential. Impulse spending. Purchases are made for instant gratification or social approval. High debt accumulation. Credit cards. Loans and financing become recurring burdens. Lifestyle inflation. Every raise triggers bigger homes, newer cars, and trend-driven consumption. Avoiding learning. Financial education and planning are neglected or postponed. External validation. Success is measured by appearance rather than freedom. Over time, burners often find themselves trapped in cycles of debt and stress, working harder but never moving forward financially. Why people become one or the other. The choice to be a builder or burner is rarely conscious at first. Influences like family culture, environment, core values, and financial education shape behavior from early on. Children raised in households where saving, investing, and delayed gratification are modeled often become builders. Those in environments where spending is celebrated and debt is normalized are more likely to develop burner tendencies. But here's the empowering truth. Habits can be changed. Builders aren't born. They are created, and burners can transform if they commit to intentional choices and consistent practice. How to become a builder. 1. Audit your habits. Track spending, time, and energy. Identify behaviors that drain resources. 2. Set clear goals. Define wealth in terms of freedom, not status. What does financial independence look like for you? 3. Create systems. Automate savings, investing, and bill payments to reduce reliance on willpower. 4. Invest in learning. Read, study, and practice financial literacy daily. 5. Delay gratification. Replace impulse spending with conscious decision-making. Every no today becomes a yes for your future. Self. 6. Measure progress, not approval. Success is internal, not external. Celebrate milestones quietly, without needing applause. Becoming a builder is not about deprivation. It's about choice. It's about channeling resources, energy, and attention toward growth, not appearances. It's about replacing short-term thrills with long-term freedom. Hidden millionaires are builders. They understand that wealth is a reflection of disciplined habits, not luck or status. And the sooner you embrace this mindset, the sooner your financial trajectory begins to shift from fleeting satisfaction to enduring freedom. Chapter 7. Wealth. Hiding in unexpected professions. When most people think of millionaires, they imagine flashy CEOs, celebrity entrepreneurs, or tech prodigies. But in reality, many of the wealthiest individuals live quietly, often in professions that outsiders consider ordinary. Hidden millionaires prove that it's not glamour or prestige that builds lasting wealth. It's stability, focus, specialization, and disciplined management of resources. The misconception of high-income careers. High income does not automatically translate to high net worth. Many doctors, lawyers, and executives earn six-figure salaries, yet struggle to accumulate substantial wealth. Why? Lifestyle inflation, expensive homes, luxury cars, private schools, and constant upgrading consume the bulk of their earnings. Their financial trajectory often mirrors someone earning far less, but spending recklessly. High income alone cannot overcome poor money habits. Hidden millionaires follow the opposite path. They focus on income control, expense management, and disciplined investing. They understand that a moderate, steady income wisely allocated can produce far greater wealth over time than a high income that disappears as fast as it arrives. Where hidden wealth actually comes from, the quiet accumulation of wealth often appears in unexpected fields. These individuals focus on professions and niches that are stable, predictable, and essential to their communities. Examples include trades, electricians, plumbers, and carpenters who specialize in high-demand services consistently earn and save. Local businesses, small store owners, family-run enterprises, and service providers control both income and expenses, creating opportunities for wealth growth. Education, teachers and administrators who live below their means invest steadily and take advantage of pensions or retirement plans, often retire with significant net worth. Real estate, agents, managers, and investors in local property markets build wealth quietly, leveraging both capital growth and rental income. Engineering and logistics, skilled professionals in predictable, essential industries benefit from stability, bonuses, and careful savings. Skilled service fields, accountants, designers, healthcare technicians, professions where expertise matters, often accumulate wealth unnoticed. The pattern is clear: consistent income, disciplined habits, and careful investment outweigh glamour or flash. Specialization as a wealth strategy. Hidden millionaires don't try to do everything. They become extremely good at something, creating a niche where demand exceeds supply. Mastery in a specialized area increases income opportunities, builds reputation, and reduces the need to compete with the masses. In contrast, generalists often earn more sporadically and burn through wealth trying to maintain social status or keep up with trends. Specialization also allows for control over your career path. Small business owners or niche specialists set their own schedules, manage overhead, and reinvest profits. This control multiplies financial growth because income and expenses are actively managed. Unlike salaried employees who must accept rigid structures and discretionary spending, why small business owners often build hidden wealth. Owning a small business is not inherently glamorous, but it offers unique wealth-building advantages. Control. Owners manage both revenue and expenses. Every decision directly impacts the bottom line. Growth. Small, sustainable expansions compound wealth over time. Investment opportunities. Profits can be redirected into assets rather than lifestyles, producing long-term returns. Stability. Unlike volatile high-income positions, well-managed local businesses provide predictable, steady growth. Hidden millionaires leverage these advantages quietly. Their businesses often blend into communities, unnoticed by neighbors, yet generate extraordinary wealth over decades. Finding your own niche. For readers, the takeaway is actionable. Wealth is available in almost any profession if approached strategically. Ask yourself, what skill can I master that is both in demand and underutilized? Where can I control income, expenses, and growth? What profession or small business aligns with my strengths and allows me to live below my means? Once you identify a niche, commit to mastery, manage resources wisely, and invest consistently over time. Even a modest career can produce hidden wealth beyond what most high-income earners achieve. Hidden millionaires prove that wealth often hides in plain sight. It's not the job title or public image that matters. It's discipline, consistency, and smart choices within stable, focused careers. By finding your niche and controlling your financial destiny, you too can build wealth quietly, steadily, and invisibly. Chapter 8. The Blueprint of the Everyday Millionaire. We've explored the quiet realities of wealth, the dangers of status-driven spending, the power of habits, and the unexpected professions where fortune quietly accumulates. Now it's time to bring everything together into a clear, actionable blueprint, the roadmap of the hidden millionaire. This is not a fantasy. It's a predictable pattern, proven over decades, and accessible to anyone willing to adopt the mindset. The universal traits of hidden millionaires. Hidden millionaires share a remarkable set of traits that distinguish them from those who merely appear wealthy. Discipline. They make consistent, intentional choices with their money. Time and energy. Modesty. They value privacy and purpose over recognition and applause. Patience. They understand that wealth grows gradually and compound interest is a powerful ally. Consistent investing. They put money to work regularly, leveraging time rather than relying on luck. Strong financial boundaries. They resist pressure to overspend or give irresponsibly. Strategic time use. Every hour is allocated with intention, maximizing learning and growth. Low emotional spending. They don't buy to impress or soothe. They buy to create value. Long-term focus. Decisions are made with decades in mind, not fleeting satisfaction. Learning mindset. They constantly expand skills, knowledge, and financial intelligence. Quiet confidence. They trust their system and their plan rather than the approval of others. These traits are not innate. They are habits cultivated deliberately and repeated consistently. The predictable path to wealth. While every millionaire's journey has unique details, the underlying path is astonishingly similar. 1. Live below your means. Hidden millionaires prioritize needs over wants and avoid lifestyle inflation. Living modestly today enables freedom tomorrow. 2. Save aggressively. They don't wait for enough income to start saving. Saving becomes non-negotiable and habitual. 3. Invest automatically. Systems are put in place so money flows into assets consistently. Stocks, retirement accounts, businesses, or real estate, without reliance on willpower. 4. Avoid high-status spending. Cars, designer goods, and social posturing are consciously minimized. The energy spent chasing appearances is redirected toward growth. To 5. Build valuable skills. They continuously increase earning potential through education, practice, and specialization. 6. Think decades ahead. Every decision, spending, investing, career, learning is measured against long-term impact, not immediate gratification. This blueprint is simple in concept, but powerful in execution. It relies not on luck, timing, or exceptional talent. It relies on deliberate, consistent actions repeated over years. Why anyone can become a hidden millionaire. Wealth is often mistaken for privilege, inherited advantages, or genius. Hidden millionaires shatter this myth. Ordinary individuals with average incomes can achieve extraordinary results if they embrace the blueprint. The tools are accessible, the strategies are learnable, and the habits are replicable. Success does not require fame, flashy ideas, or extraordinary circumstances. What it demands is extraordinary consistency, the same small, intentional actions that grow one person's net worth quietly over decades can grow yours too. Time compounds, habits compound, and your financial independence compounds with them. Closing inspiration. Becoming a hidden millionaire is not about luck. It's about living intentionally, making smart choices, and trusting the system you create. Every dollar you save, every skill you build, every boundary you enforce compounds into freedom, security, and opportunity. This is your blueprint. a framework grounded in discipline, patience, and purpose. Follow it quietly, diligently, and consistently, and over time, you will join the ranks of the everyday millionaires, the individuals who live among us, unnoticed by most, yet financially empowered beyond imagination. Conclusion: the hidden path to financial freedom. The journey through this book reveals a truth often overlooked. The wealth that endures is rarely loud, flashy, or public. True financial success is quiet, disciplined, and patient. It is built step by step, habit by habit, decision by decision. Hidden millionaires live proof that freedom, not luxury, is the ultimate reward of smart money choices. Wealth is not a measure of cars, clothes, or social status. It is a reflection of mindset. Before it appears in your bank account, it begins in your thinking, your daily habits, and your ability to act intentionally. The mindset of a hidden millionaire: discipline, patience, strategic thinking, delayed gratification, and consistent investing, is accessible to anyone willing to commit. It does not require extraordinary talent, inheritance, or luck. It requires small, deliberate actions repeated consistently over time. Start today. Track your spending. Invest a portion of your income. Set boundaries. And make decisions that serve your long-term freedom rather than short-term validation. Even modest steps, like choosing needs over wants, building a skill, or automating savings, compound quietly into extraordinary results over months, years, and decades. Remember, financial independence is not an event. It is a process. Each choice you make either builds your foundation or erodes it. The hidden path is simple, predictable, and repeatable, yet surprisingly few follow it. By adopting the hidden millionaire mindset, you step off the noisy, appearance-driven treadmill and begin a journey toward independence, security, and peace. The freedom that comes from living intentionally, investing wisely, and valuing substance over status is unmatched. It is a reward that no flashy lifestyle can replicate. Your path to financial freedom is now visible, clear, and actionable. Start quietly, act consistently, and watch your life transform over time. Thanks for joining us in Read Realm, where every book finds a voice. If you enjoyed this audiobook, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a new upload. Got a book in mind? Drop it in the comments. You're next. Favorite listen could be our next upload. Until then, keep your mind open and your headphones on.